to occur. But you know what, though? I'm sure he's looking for some more revenge going into game 2. Zatman, he's a vindictive one, I guess. And now on the other side here, Iga right away gets rid of the Habwa, says, not today. We're not even going to let you have it. This is it. Get out of the pool.
I can't really blame Iga for wanting to do that, though, because even though, like I said, they were having a bit more map control and a lot more dominance in those jungle fights for the buff invades, at the same time, if a Habwa gets the late game, you still have a lot to worry about, especially since Hapi definitely love pairing damage with more damage. So I really don't think Iga are trying to deal with any sort of tides turning for them.
We see a lot of respect from Iga given to Juan here, banning out the 2 characters he's performed on. I think they're kind of establishing him as the main playmaker in the team, and they want to shut him down, make sure he doesn't get on the comfort picks. And you see Team Hapi just opting for those kind of standard bans, the Giannis and the Terra.
Yeah, they really don't. They got to experience it yesterday, dealing with Giannis and Terra, and I know that they just aren't really trying to run it back if they're not planning on using it.
Most notably Terra, too. If you're not going to use it yourself, then, because they had that first pick last, and that was their first choice, so it makes a lot of sense that they would just get rid of that right off the bat, because NA knows how to play that god really well.
Oh, yeah, no. There's a reason why Terra hardly ever makes it into the competitive stage when it comes to NA, and she just provides way too much to the team. But Sylvanas, I think, is a really strong pick coming out for Iga. I mean, it goes along with the conventional healing meta play style that Iga love to run in NA. And at the same time, I do like this pickup by Hapi, opting for the Odin to try and potentially look to shut down any sort of healing composition coming out from Iga.
I mean, it's a great pick. That's something I've always said is just get the Odin if someone picks Sylvanas. Why not? They could even pair it with something like a Nemesis and just really try and farm the Sylvanas and get ahead by that method. We do see the Awilix, though, with Team Hapi. We could assume it's going to jungle, but you never really know with these guys where they're going to put their characters. And
there
we see
goes
the
that
Sylvanas
Zeus combo again.
They love it.
Yeah, what are you going to do, you know?
It's just so much, it's really hard to take up any sort of engagement with Inger in those jungle corridors, because if you turn a corner and you're caught with your teammates too close together, that Zeus Chain Lightning is going to be devastating as soon as he detonates. And I mean, we saw Best getting away with a lot of that last game, despite the times that he had a little bit of questionable positioning. I still think that it worked out very effectively for him. So, I mean, Iga are more than happy to just go ahead and run that back.
That was a smart ban there as well, just getting rid of Zatman Xingwei. Not today. We're not going to deal with it for game 2. Good ban in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a very solid ban. You don't want Zatman on something that's really comfortable for him. We saw maybe, you know, if he's getting soloed on Xingwei, if we can get him something on a lower tier character, then maybe he could potentially even get more behind. But it's very hard to put a Xingwei behind due to that passive.
Yeah, most likely I would probably expect Zatman to opt for something that goes pretty heavily into Iga's composition. I wouldn't be surprised to see him bring out the Rom or even an On Her, really. I mean, they're both picks that he's pretty accustomed to. And at the same time, you know, on the side of Hapi, you're not really certain whether that's going to be a Soul mid or even a Soul ADC. We see the tease hover of Anubis, and we've seen Knight as Anubis from previous seasons with China, but I don't think it's going to be making a comeback. I'm not sure anybody after Knight has really taken up the stand for it.
I don't want to see an Anubis pick, but at the same time, I do want to see an Anubis pick.
You want to see the world burn?
I like to see the hype. I like to, you know, Geb would be a more solid pick for sure. We haven't actually seen Team Hapi really play a conventional support, so it'd be interesting to see how they kind of develop around that and play that actual real support role.
I prefer this from Team Hapi, considering the fact that they already have an Awilish. And I think that the Geb pairing with it is only going to help them as far as trying to get a little bit more setup going for their team, because I think that it can actually synchronize quite well. And China seem like they're very strong in that Hapi know how to get picks. They just don't really seem how to really engage as one entire team, because they tend to struggle a bit with team fights. So if they pick something based around like solidifying the team fight, I think it would help them out greatly.
It's interesting to see Zatman opting for the Anha here over the Ram, I believe, just due to the fact that there isn't a Wheelish on the team. But maybe it's also due to the fact that he's trying to kind of play around the Odin, perhaps, where, you know, Rama can kind of get trapped in there.
I think it's a little bit safer for him to go ahead and pull out an On Her, considering the fact that they do have an Odin. Just because if a Rom gets trapped inside the Odin cage, even though you have the Wheelish presence, that could be devastating for him. I still feel like it'll be easier for him. Plus, the shifting sands on Her will go really well with their team composition.
Yeah, and Thanatos.
Yeah,
A
thoughts on
classic
that?
one.
Yeah,
I
right?
mean, it's an interesting pick. I want to see where it goes.
Yeah, so could this be it? Could this be Hapi's running the tournament right here? How do you feel about this draft for the Chinese team?
I feel like it's really unconventional. They could potentially pull it off, but I think Eagers is just more to what they know, and that it'll probably be a bit easier for them to go ahead and secure this.
Heard that word quite a bit for the Chinese squad, unconventional. So you got Eager. What do you got, Suntouch?
Team Hapi are warmed up. This is going to be an easy win for my boys at Team Hapi. Eager don't stand a chance. It's all over.
All right, well, let's go ahead. Send it over to your casters for Game 2. Guys, take it away.
Thank you very much, Analyst Desk. Oh, I didn't expect to be here this morning, but here I am.
Your accent changed.
I actually just cut my hair, and it all changed.
Oh, you can tell. You got a full makeover. Looking a little bit better. Don't tell him I said that. No, unfortunately, Tom a little bit sick. I'm sure you guys all noticed. He's going to rest up for the day and come back tomorrow. But yeah, Hapi coming out against Eager here. I actually do kind of like this composition, and interesting enough, they did take away a little bit of what LG did yesterday with that Cataclysm on Geb into the Soul Ultimate combo.
Yeah, and I really like the Anher pick, classic Zapman, my boy. I love me some Anher.
You do love Anher.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this matchup?
The Anher into the Soul, I think it's perfectly fine. Anher, he can deal with the poke and he can deal with the pressure, and Anher can also deliver pressure.
So is that a Thanatos mid?
Oh, wait, what? It is.
Oh, it's a short bow.
Zyros?
Okay, so Thanatos mid coming out. I mean, so China runs a lot of weird things here. I actually do like the Thanatos into this composition simply because Thanatos is incredibly strong against gods, you know, with a little bit wider hitboxes and also have planting ultimate. So, example, Ymir or Sylvanas, where when they ultimate, they're stuck in place, they're very slow, they have no way to escape, and you actually can't miss that Thanatos ultimate as long as you play it perfectly right. There's no way to juke it.
So when Zyros played the Thanatos mid, it used to be for the early pressure and the extreme damage from the Thanatos' sides and his one.
This is actually pretty rare for this tournament so far, seeing such a standard start coming out from both teams.
I think that's a little bit because of what happened at the beginning of last game. There was just so much going on that Eager got lost in the chaos. And so they're just going to play very standard and safe and not try and do anything crazy here, especially up against a Thanatos. This is something that I'm assuming Best hasn't played against in quite some time, so may not be used to exactly how this matchup's going to work.
Yeah, and he also doesn't have any actives. He didn't pick up Bees or Aegis, so he's probably just waiting to decide later on and see what he wants.
I think it's one of those things where you don't always want to invest into purification, but you know, if you can hold out, it's definitely worth it. If he gets picked up or if he feels like he's getting pressured too much, he probably will.
Early camps there going the way of Team Eager. Talk to me a little bit about what this Camazot solo brings to the table, Fumble.
So the Camazot solo brings out hard pressure and hard potential to keep, continuously apply pressure to this Odin. And Odin only has his jump and his bird bomb damage, which clears the waves early game, while Devios can keep applying pressure and keep poking out that Odin, force that Odin to recall, as he has no sustain.
Yeah, Camazotz has so much sustain in his kit, and so it just stacks up, and that's one of the reasons that Ratatosker can work as well. But DJ actually taking a weird loop around the jungle. He stole away the back rights, but it gets read out, and you can see already Hapi rotating to try and catch him.
Luan's already level 4, hits him with the death side. Knock up there from Santorsky. DJ, though, manages to get the dash away. His beads were burnt.
Did he hit the Death Scythe?
No, he missed it.
Yeah, I thought so. That's one of the things about Thanatos, and we saw it the other day as well, is that he's so reliant on hitting that Death Scythe. Nice jump from Devios there, actually avoiding the bird bomb. That timing it's a very small window.
Yeah, an early game 1v2 in this early in the game as Camazotz versus an Odin and the Willix it just shows how great Devios of a player is.
And the lifesteal coming up from Camazotz, the sustain that he can bring as well. You know, while the Odin does a lot of burst damage, Camazotz then can sustain it up.
And Zap just putting this pressure on. This is really good for Eager. With Soul, typically you really want to get lane control. She's very good at poking out other hunters. Obviously, Stellar Burst hits such a wide area that it's hard to position in lane. And because Zap's going to have this pressure, it's going to really allow him to rotate over.
But this is classic Zap, man. He's playing aggressive. He had the red buff before, ready to go in.
Oh, Yuan pulled in there. Stone Shield comes through from Santorsky. The best, though, detonates the charge. Down goes Juan. First blood to Team Eager.
That's really really unfortunate too. You actually see the Odin teleporting to mid, expecting a team fight to break out. This means he's gonna miss the wave being pushed into right, and Divios is just getting this free farm. Probably gonna look to block him from even getting back to lane.
But going back to the duo lane, like I said, Zatman is that type of aggressive person. That's who he is, no matter what happens. And he wants to get the pressure. That's why he got the red buff early game, just ready to fight.
I think one of the things too is he did get soloed last game,
So
and he might want to. That might actually be the only reason he picked up on her. You know, especially against an Awilish. Obviously, you want to be a little bit careful on, you know, picking up gods with jumps later in the draft. I think he wants to take this fight to Maker.
Yeah, and when until, you know, just pick the Anna, ready to go aggressive.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
2 men in the left-hand side lane there. Santorski splitting some farm with Maker. DJ Pernicus again going aggressive in pathing towards the left-hand side mid-camp.
And CJ's just doing a really good job of farming around the map. He hasn't really been involved in too much. He's just drawing the attention of Hapi. And this is a very safe standard game plan from Eager. This is not something we've seen from them in quite some time. They were very heavy on the invades at Super Regionals, but just wanting to play it incredibly safe. And they also do have, you know, really good control at the Gold Fury, I think, too. The Zeus ultimate going to be able to zone players out. Same with the Roar's ultimate as well. Wrath of Terra, it's just so hard to fight into that mid-support combo.
Yeah, and while I like Happy's team comp, I feel like the Sola's the only magical damage aside from the Geb is, I don't know, I'm not super keen on that, and the Thanatos needs to get ahead early for them to, you know, have a really good late game and pressure.
We can see Juan just leaving that short bow there and then going into boots too. You know, why do you think he went this short bow start? What does that give him?
He's actually looking for Zatman here, who, unfortunate. Zatman just getting back there, and you can see Juan just didn't have the angle on it. He actually went forward, knew he was backing, but couldn't see that ring around.
Yeah, and that was just unlucky from Yuan.
Oh, Maker actually gets the purification up to stop the knockup into his immunity frames. Aurora, ooh, just barely mistiming the pull there onto the ADC of Team Hapi.
Yeah, I feel like Zatman should have recalled earlier. I think he was just waiting for Devil Gloves, and if he got picked there, that would have been unfortunate, as the Thanatos would have picked up the kill, which is what Thanatos needs early game.
Solo lane, Fighting Jay, boxing out here with Divio's shield is popped, but the amount of damage coming out of that Camazots means not available for Fighting Jay to use that combo.
And just looking at the net worth, I mean, the Odin's a little bit behind there, about 300 gold. And here comes Eager. I mean, this should be a free gold cure. You could see Juan rotating in, but he shouldn't get there in time. Eager grabs it and immediately just the retreat. They got what they wanted, just backing out. And look at this, again, a 3K gold lead.
Oh, Best pulled in there, but Purification's away. The final bit of the pull. Here comes DJ Pernicus. They're looking now for Maker. Can he get away over the wall? He can.
Zap's gonna jump forward. Oh, this is trouble for Maker too. He's one hit. That man lines it up. Desert's Fury finds Maker. 4 players of Eager in the mid lane as well. They might actually look to push down this tower. This kind of ended perfectly. You could see not only picking up Maker, Blue Blails forced back, Fighting Jay getting dove by himself against Divios. Good Geb shield though, gonna keep him alive. Cataclysm locks Divios in place, and here comes the rotation, but Divios is still alive. To the sky, execute by Juan.
DJ Pernicus here though, looking to clean up, picks up one. He might be looking for Fighting Jay as well. Not enough mana there for DJ, but the best is here, Chain Lightning. Can he get the detonate off in time? The Raven Shield's gonna save the life of Fighting Jay.
And DJ Pernicus just immediately focused on this tower right now. Fighting Jay still hanging around. You can see DJ Pernicus, no mana, but I mean, this Odin, he shouldn't be staying here this long. He has teleport. Divios!
Blue Whale gets the kill. Now Fighting Jay is looking for the best, no mana, no health. He gets the kill back onto Fighting Jay. Chain Lightning just to slow him down. He's gonna live.
Now, one thing I want to point out there is that the Awilix went in alone, and then Fighting Jay went in again. And where was his team? I think there was a lack of communication there.
The biggest surprise for me is Fighting Jay had teleport up the whole time.
Yeah.
He easily could have backed and teleported back in. I don't know if they had wards in their inventory. Hello, Maker! Zapman looking for the last basic. Zapparate gonna keep him alive for now. The jump forward just off the mark. Maker, Zapman didn't even notice he went down there. A little bit too scared of Juan.
Wow, incredible work there from Juan to keep his teammate alive. Zatman very low here. Does he have a jump? He's got the beat. DJ though, Blue Whale gonna get the kill. Can Pern clean up the kills here? It doesn't look like it. Zatman falls down to Team Hapi.
I don't think that was Zatman that he didn't know. I think he knew that Thanatos was coming, and and he didn't want to spend too much time going for the kill. However, he should have gone for the kill, but he didn't know Willix was rotating.
It might have been one of those things where he's like, okay, I could get this kill, but I'm probably dead if I take those couple extra seconds. It just ended up unfortunate for him that a wheelish rotation from the mid lane, that's what he really wasn't expecting.
Best knocked up, pulled in here by Blue Whale. Cataclysm won with the execute. The Zeus ultimate came down, but it was not enough to save the life of the Best.
I have never seen Best by himself so much in both of these two games. This is really surprising coming from him because normally they play this style where it's Aurora and Best hip to hip, and DJ Pernicus is always very close around them, and they kind of rotate as this three-man unit, letting Divios and Zatman on the sides deal with their individual lane opponents.
So Jan with his Thanatos, I'm hoping he goes for the Shield of Regrowth here. It's a really good item for Thanatos. He gets the extra movement speed and he's good to go.
And yeah, it's so helpful. And that item has actually recently come back into the meta. Naja picking it up too, just that bonus MS, so useful for rotating around, either chasing players or getting away.
Yeah, and we saw it on Cherio actually at the group stage, where he picked up the Naja and he went Shield of Regrowth. He went for a more like a pen style build, which you can also go with Thanatos. So I'm wondering if he can go with he can go the same build with the Thanatos.
Interesting enough, he picked up Iqvile here, which is not the best. I mean, typically you're not trading a ton of basics as Thanatos. Normally it's ability damage, and then having your team poke players into that execute range.
Right, but Iqvile is a really strong item early game. It's only 1,700 gold, and it provides you with a small amount of pen, is what you need against, especially like a tanky character like Sylvanas with the Wisps.
Could the Thanatos be a little bit of a counter to the sustain comp coming out from Team Eager, given his execute?
Yeah, and that's what Lich did as well. That's what they went for. They kept focusing on Sylvanas, getting the ultimates and ready to go in.
It's always risky though, because technically it's a counter to sustain comps, but sustain comps are kind of a counter to executes as well. Because if you're not careful and someone gets a big heal, whether it's a meditation or the Wisp just puts you over that execute threshold, and then you're not going to execute a player. Well, now as Thanatos, you're really deep in a team fight and weren't able to pick anyone up. So it's a very risky play either way, and Juan's going to have to play it perfectly.
Either way. See what you did there.
Yeah.
Blue Whale. Fighting Jay, though, trying to clear the wave under his own tower there. Divios has kept the pressure up here. Four-man rotation from Team Hapi, looking towards Zatman here, but Zatman spots it out, playing it very safely, walking back towards his own tower, and they could be looking to the mid lane now.
They're actually trying to pick Juan as he rotates back in. Blue Whale still hanging around on the left-hand side, though, and Zatman just off the mark. Nice jump from Blue Whale there. And this is great. This is what you see a lot from Eager, is both Zatman and Divios are very good at holding two players in their lane.
So what Zatman did there was he placed a ward without getting any poke from there, and he didn't jump when the Soul used it too. He just backstepped, ready to go in.
Yeah, it's known as the Barra backstep, but
you're gonna find Rage.
Wiggle.
Fighting Jay gonna cage people in, and actually Santorsk around the side does find the Cataclysm. DJ's in the sky right now.
DJ looking to crash down. He does manage to pick up two, waiting for some
huge
damage to
ult from Aurora.
Aurora picks up two with the ultimate. Pern actually gets the kill. One falls down to the Best, and here comes Zatman. They're looking for Fighting Jay. Now they're turning their sights towards Maker, and then the Gold Fury.
Just such a great job from Best and Aurora. They don't panic inside that ultimate from Fighting Jay. They pop the shell. Best just make sure to stay around Aurora, stay safe. They wait. The second it ends, Aurora finds that perfect ultimate, knocking 4 players up, the chain lightning combo. This is why Eager run this combo, specifically for those situations.
And they're just such good plays. They make it look so easy as well.
Yeah, and Eager there, they could have gone for the mid tower, but they're going to get it now. They went for the Golfer and they opted to go for the Soul Gank, which I think is perfectly fine. They're going to get pressure on the left tower, and they should be able to get it, assuming that DJ Pernicus stays there. If not, then it's perfectly fine.
And that's one of the things, too, is that Gold Fury obviously going to be respawning. Towers are always permanent. They felt like they were going to get the towers at the same time. They don't actually get the left-hand side one, but Eager have just played a very slow, methodical game this time. They've got over a 6,000 gold lead. If you look at the side of Hapi, though, a lot of them coming back into this game, I think, is going to rely on this Soul, as actually Hapi going very aggressive, looking to invade the speed.
Divios, though, looking to turn around. Fighting Jay around the backside, though. Could be looking for a big cage here. 3 men of Eager grouped up. Cataclysm into the cage. Downfall's the Best. Up in the sky goes Juan. He's looking for a target here, but no one's in Threshold. Blue Whale impaled by Zatman. Zatman looking for the kill, but the Stone Shield saves Blue Whale for now. Can the Desert Fury pick it up? He can't. An in-hand will do it for Zap.
And actually, Pern still in the sky. They're going to be looked. Santorski left alone. Divios gets the kill. And Juan just bailed on his team from the get-go.
Yeah, so Zapman actually rotated there. That was one of the best things they can do. As Zapman's already so far ahead, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if he rotates or not. But yeah, like you said, Adonis, this Sol is a key, to get ahead back into the game. And he's just too far behind right now.
And you can see, he's invested into the Celestial Legion helm, but at this point, I mean, it costs so much. Yeah, you get a decent amount of magical power, but I feel like if he's getting jumped on in the back regardless, I feel like he just needs more damage right now because there's not a lot of guaranteed damage on the side of Hapi.
And a lot of it is physical as well. It's a bit easier to build physical protection than it is magical protection. Can you expand on that a bit, Fumble?
Yeah, physical protection items are stronger in this game as there's not many different pen items for physical characters, but mage items, mage pen is easy to buy.
Oh, this is gonna be trouble for Hapi. Good juke by Zapman, and that's bought time from the rotation from Aurora. Knock up onto Juan pushed into the wall. Soul trying to ult, and just force Zapman off to save his mid laner, but it's not gonna happen. Zap with a great impale finds Juan. He's gonna pick up his third as well. Zapman seems so much more comfortable this game.
Yeah, he's so far ahead, and he hit the red buff. He was hitting after the Igval procs. He was hitting for about 192 per AA, which is early game is 30 minutes in, and he's already doing that much damage.
Left-hand side, Zapman gonna pick up the tier 1 tower here with the help of Aurora. Misses the impale onto Blue Whale, but that's all right. They're happy with the towers falling down basically across the map.
At this point for Eager, this is what they want to do because they're so far ahead in their individual lanes. They can just have Divios just constantly put pressure on this right-hand side. He has no issue going against fighting Jay. DJ Pernicus is just going to roam around looking for any jungle to steal, and it's going to be a 3-man unit of Zapman, Aurora, and Best, where it's very hard to fight into that, and DJ Pernicus has his ultimate to get to any fight where they find trouble.
Yeah, and Hapi needs to, they need to get farm, they just need to get their soul back into the game. They need to let him farm, and that's what they need to get back into this game. And this Odin hasn't really been doing much aside from that one cage that he got from the before.
And he's got Blink online now, obviously hitting level 12, but the issue is that they don't have anything outside of the soul to really dive into. Aurora finds a pluck on a Juan, who immediately ults to the sky, just trying to stay alive. He's actually positioning himself over Aurora right now, and DJ's in the sky as well to try and counter this out.
One-man knock up there on to Blue Whale. Blue Whale jumps away, however, rooted in place by Aurora. Juan diving the Best, but the Best uses the Zeus ultimate. Juan in, oh, the pillar was perfect from Zapman there. Best picks up the kill with a detonate.
Divios just going to jump forward here, and he actually burns the Sanctuary on Maker. Maker does get a shield, but he burnt. Oh, so unfortunate, wasting that Supernova. Low on mana as well, nice poke, but they've got a Sylvanas and a Meditation, and Hapi really just have nothing to stop this push on this tier 2.
Yeah, Yuan went for the blink play, and we've seen this in the last game as well. He plays too aggressive sometimes, and he got picked for that.
And a big thing too is his death sights have not really been on point this game. That's one of the biggest risks about Thanatos is, it's not easy to hit his abilities like it is for other junglers like a Thor per se.
Yeah, and that's one character that you need to practice hard.
DJ in a little bit of trouble here, forced to burn the Sanctuary as his team take the tier 2 tower, but just a worthwhile trade there for Team Eager.
And just Eager are just going to keep up this pressure because they have the Sylvanas. Teams are going to have to answer something because Eager are always picking up some form of sustain in every single composition they run, and it's usually augmented by at least one meditation, and they're so good at holding them and playing around exactly when they need to utilize it. They don't just burn it the second someone gets low.
Fighting Jay goes in there onto the Best, who uses his beat, and Sanctuary knocked up there by Santorsky. Down comes the Zeus ultimate. They're looking to get some kills in return. Eager, Desert Fury trying to get Santorsky, impales, Zapman gets one. He's looking for Fighting Jay now, but the execute from Juan. Divios picks up Maker. It's a hell of a bloodbath.
Juan gonna fall as well. Zapman finds 2. DJ Pernicus chasing on top of the tree, knocked up. And Blue Whale falls. Divios finds 3. It's a deicide for Eager at 16 minutes.
Gold Fury being taken now as well here. Look at the graphs, 14,000, now 15,000 experience, 10,000 gold as well for Team Eager. Going to be even more after this Gold Fury falls.
And the big thing there was just Best doing a great job of absorbing so much damage. He Sanctuaried early in the fight. The second the Sanctuary ended as well, Aurora pops this shell. He actually did get into execute range early, but those healing wisps.
Yeah, and what Hapi tried to do there is perfectly fine. They tried to
I agree.
go for the Zeus, they forced everything on him. That's what they could. That's the only thing they could do there because they're so far behind. That's one of the only chances they could get to get back into the game.
They have to 100-0 someone or somehow slow the pace of this game down to allow Maker to farm up on this soul and get a couple more items. I mean, he's only got boots and Celestial Legion Helm finished right now, working on either the Demonic Grip or the Telekines. He almost should go into Telekines because he needs something very cheap and efficient.
As opposed to that, though, take me through the Best build a little bit. A lot of protection online.
Right. So what they want to do is try and keep Best, shut down, but Best has so much protection, so he tries to stay alive against the executions. As you said before, the heals, he was in the execution range once, and then he got out, and then he went back into it because they forced so much onto him.
But at the very least, he just bought so much time. Okay, Divios right now is by himself, 1v5. He's going to be looking for Maker here and still going very aggressive. He's got one more ultimate, and he's going to be caught inside the cage for now. Pulled actually out of the cage by his own team. Divios is going to be able to escape this, and 5 members of Hapi grouped up.
Zapman gets the kill there with the Desert Fury. Zapman looking for a second. He's looking for Maker. Can he find the enhance? The immunity frames are good for now. Pern diving. Zapman gets the second. He's looking for a triple here. Fighting Jay with the Raven Shield. Can he get the jump off in time? He can, but Eager turn their attentions to the right-hand side Tier 1 tower and to Santorski.
He's going to fall as well, surrounded. 3 kills for Eager right there, and this is just almost impossible for Hapi to come back into unless Eager makes some serious mistakes.
Yeah, and Divios knew how much he could tank and how much he had to get until his whole team started rotating.
Yeah, this is going to be they killed 3, they forced 1 back. Juan was the only one left alive who was split pushing in mid, and they just sent DJ to deal with it. I don't even know if Juan knows that DJ's behind him right now. They're going to find out pretty soon, though.
Team Eager takes the Fire Giant there. One knocked up by Zapman and chunked into Oblivion. Divios picks up the kill there. 5, 1, and 4 for the solo laner. Fighting Jay now needs to retreat to his Tier 2 tower, and even then he might not be safe.
Oh my word. Aurora has 3,700 gold in hand right now as a support. That must feel really good. And that's the thing. I mean, because of this sustain that Aurora brings, Eager almost never has to back. So in a lot of situations when you're fighting, because Hapi has been doing some damage, getting some kills and fights, and that usually means that, okay, Eager's going to be able to take a tower and then have to back, but the sustain and the meditations just allow them to keep looking for more and more golden experience across the map, stealing jungle, farming up waves and taking towers.
One thing I want to mention is that Sol bought Telekine's ring this late into the game. He just finished it a few seconds ago, and I feel like he should have gone a different item there, maybe a Polynomicon or something with extra damage, maybe even a shard at this point.
I think the biggest issue is he was trying to go into it, and he bought the Tier 2, and then he's just, I'm stuck with this now. It's not that it's not super efficient to sell items in Smite. Every once in a while you can, and obviously late game when you want to switch out, but I think he just pigeonholed himself into a standard build he had planned earlier.
Right, but he was already so far behind. So
oh, Maker in a little bit of trouble here, forced to use the ultimate. Divios looking for the kill there with the Camazots. DJ Pernicus in the sky as well. Immunity frames run out. My friend DJ Pernicus runs out the life of Maker, right-hand side. Fighting Jay in a lot of trouble himself. Pops the cage in the jump, but Divios is there waiting for him. The Zeus ultimate as well as enough. Right-hand side, Phoenix gonna fall to Team Eager. Divios diving. The Titan pulled into the fountain there by Blue Whale. Better Step's gonna be enough to execute. He's looking for a wand, gets the kill onto Divios. And now Team Eager looking to back out of the Titan pit.
They've got a Phoenix on the right-hand side, but they still need to be careful. Zapman was knocked up there, but Awelish already burned that ultimate, and Divios just diving a little bit too hard there. Now Eager going to be rotating around, just trying to take out everything that's possible. Oh, and actually, Aurora finds a pull onto Santorski, who's stunned against the wall. Chain lightning, detonate! Best finds his 6th of the game. This Zeus has been such a pivotal pick for Eager in the past few months.
For me as well, it's been this Sylvanas play from Aurora. The blind pulls, or the pulls through the wall, really onto targets that have had no chance to cleanse the CC.
Yeah, and Aurora's a great play. He got the pulls, he has the shell, and he has the wisp for extra protection, which will allow Zeus with the wing wand to stay alive for longer.
That's one of the biggest things about the Sylvanas pull as well when it comes to the geometry on the map is if you pull someone and they're already inside the wall, they can't purify. know, they're stuck in there. They're going to the other side, and so Aurora knows those positions where they're not going to be able to do anything fast enough. Blink and a counter blink from Aurora founds a 3-man knock up. Zapman finds Blue Whale.
Fighting Jay now in some trouble. Detonate could be enough to pick him up. It's going to be the jump from Zapman, who's got himself a double. Maker in immunity frames again, but once again, they've run out, and so will Maker. DJ Pernigas picks up one in the mid lane. Maker falls down to the best. 3 Phoenixes down, Fire Giant on Eager. This is probably game.
And at this point, it's Santorsky left alive. You can see fire minions raining. It's a level 11 Geb at 22.5 minutes. Eager, they're going to walk forward here, and this is going to be game very shortly. Santorsky has admitted defeat. He's jumping in place in the fountain.
Team Eager taking down the Titan, and Team Eager moving on to the semifinals, and thus ends the journey of Team Hapi.